Hello, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the following question. How do human activities that affect air, water, and land impact ecosystems? Lesson objective. Students will learn two vital research skills, note-taking and video scrubbing. Students also learn more about the needs of a species within its habitat. Over the next several lessons, you will read about a habitat for flamingos and some of the decisions the town near the habitat are making. You will have to form an opinion about the best decision for the town to make. You will do the following. 1. Read about the flamingos. 2. Compare two habitats, which is where we are now. 3. Think about the potential impact of human actions on the habitat. 4. Prepare to debate. 5. Engage in a debate. And 6. Write an argumentative essay about the topic. Using the technique of scrubbing video, you will move back and forth within a video while the file is still open. It is a common technique used by scientists in fields of psychology to biology to physics. Any domain where raw, unedited video might be used to capture data. Of course, scrubbing is used in other fields, such as media production. Independent work. Use the link below to watch the video. The title of the video is All Paradise, the habitat of the lesser flamingo. Just watch the video. Don't take any notes, and don't worry if you don't understand everything the first time. Link to the video is right here. So, let's watch the video together.
So, what are the optimal conditions for the lesser flamingo to breed? They need a hot place. Hot as in around 105 degrees Fahrenheit. With a hot lake. We're talking about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And salty. That's right, they need a hot, salty lake. Because hot and salty are the optimal conditions for blue-green algae to grow. And guess what flamingos eat? You guessed it. Fun fact, there's actually reddish pigment in the blue-green algae. They eat it and that's why they're pink. The hot temperatures and salty water also limit predators because, face it, how many species find those conditions appealing? So, a hot, salty lake in a hot place with plenty of blue-green algae it is. Flamingos also need fresh water. A good source of fresh water to drink, of course, and to wash their feathers. This is especially important for the baby chicks, so they can wash off the salt before it hardens on them and kills them. Sorry, there's no gentle way to say this. Flamingos need safe places to build their nests, isolated, protected. They pile up mounds of mud in shallow spots far from shore. In East Africa, there's only one lake that fits this description of a perfect breeding spot. Lake Natron in Tanzania. Hot and salty? Check. Blue-green algae? Check. Safe nesting areas? Check. Fresh water? Check. The word's out. Every year, 1 to 2 million lesser flamingos gather at Lake Natron. That's 70% of the world's entire lesser flamingo population. Not all of them are there to breed. In fact, a female flamingo reproduces once every 5 or 6 years. When she does, she lays just one single egg. So, it can't be all paradise all the time in flamingo land, right? Or, scientifically speaking, are there potential threats to the habitat of the lesser flamingo? Think about it. If their food source needs high water temperatures and salty conditions, then a change in the water temperature or the saltiness can cause a food shortage. If the flamingos need isolated spots for nesting in shallow areas away from shore, and then there's a flood due to rain, then no nesting areas. If they need fresh water to drink and wash their feathers, and the water's in shorter supply or gets polluted, then they face a double danger of nothing to drink and salt drying on their legs and feathers. Some threats, a flood for example, or drought, might have natural causes. Usually, these occur for a limited time or happen slowly, giving species a chance to adapt to their changing environment. Some threats are caused by humans. sometimes we humans can do a whole lot of damage and destruction. Check this out. The government of Tanzania wants to build a soda ash factory at Lake Natron. Soda ash is a key ingredient for making glass. The soda ash factory would use a lot of fresh water that comes from the streams at Lake Natron and create roads and noise and pollution, and you get the picture, right? Add it all up. What do you think? Could the impact of this factory mean extinction, as in goodbye, no more, end of the road for the lesser flamingo?
All right, so let's continue. A. Optimal conditions. Scrub to about 29 seconds in the video to find this image. Then listen again to the narration of this portion of the video to complete your notes. These words might be helpful to use in your notes. Hot, hot water lake, salt water lake, and blue-green algae. So let's take notes. Let's go back to the video. And I'm going to rewind all the way back to about this section here.
Optimal conditions for the lesser flamingo to
I'm going to go back to 8 seconds. So here I see that I need to find something about optimal conditions. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click play and I'm going to listen for the optimal conditions that a flamingo needs and take my notes.
So, what are the optimal conditions for the lesser flamingo to breed? They need a hot place. Hot as in around 105 degrees Fahrenheit. With a hot lake, we're talking about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And salty. That's right, they need a hot, salty lake. Because hot and salty are the optimal conditions for blue-green algae to grow. And guess what flamingos eat? You guessed it. Fun fact. There's actually reddish pigment in the blue-green algae. They eat it and that's why they're pink.
Alright, so optimal conditions for flamingos. In about 29 seconds in the video, we learn that the first thing they need is they need a hot place. A hot place that's about 105 degrees Fahrenheit. They also need a hot salty lake. The lake should be about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And they also need the blue-green algae. They eat it because the conditions of the hot salty lake and the outside temperatures are optimal conditions for blue-green algae to grow, which the flamingo need to eat. So next, let's focus in on limited predators. Scrub to about 44 seconds in the video to find this image. Then listen again to the narration of this portion of the video to complete your notes. These words might be helpful. Species, conditions. So let's go back to the video and listen for predators.
Hot temperatures and salty water also limit predators because, face it, how many species find those conditions appealing? So, a hot, salty lake in a hot place with plenty of blue-green algae it is.
Okay, so my first information is that hot temperature and salty lake limit predators. Not many predator species can live in the same hot and salty conditions, so that's why there aren't a lot of predators for flamingos. So next section is the fresh water. Scrub to about 57 seconds in the video to find this image. Listen to the narration of this portion of the video to complete your notes. These words might be helpful to use in your notes. Source, fresh water, drink, wash, chicks, salt, hardens. So I'm going to fast forward to the 52nd or 57th seconds into the video to find out more about fresh water. Let's go back to the video tab, and I'm at 56, so let's listen for fresh water.
Flamingos also need fresh water. A good source of fresh water to drink, of course, and to wash their feathers. This is especially important for the baby chicks, so they can wash off the salt before it hardens on them and kills them. Sorry, there's no gentle way to say this. Flamingos need safe places to build their nests, isolate.
Alright, so what did I learn about freshwater? Well, in the video, we learn about that flamingos also need fresh water to drink and to wash their feathers. Flamingo chicks can wash off salt on their feet before it hardens, and if flamingo chicks can't wash off the salt on their feet with fresh water, then it hardens and it can kill them. Check for understanding. Write a summary of what flamingos need in their habitat. Be sure to use scientific words from the previous slides in your response. So, flamingo habitat is very specific. They need a hot place to live that is around 105 degrees Fahrenheit. They also need a hot and salty lake that is around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. These conditions are optimal for the blue-green algae to grow, which flamingos eat. The hot temperatures ward off predators because not many predator species can survive in these conditions. Flamingos also need a source of fresh water to drink and wash their feathers. This is especially important for flamingo chicks because if they do not have access to fresh water, the salt will harden on their feet and kill them. Thanks for watching. See you next time.